Everyone knows that golden hour is the best time to shoot portraits, and I agree. However, there will be times in your photography career where you can't shoot at golden hour. Whatever those things are, maybe the client is not available at golden hour, or you just want to book multiple shoots in the same day. There will be times where you can't shoot at golden hour and you'll have to shoot in harsh sunlight. And if you know how to shoot and deal with harsh lighting, it only makes you a better and more versatile photographer who can shoot in any lighting situation. You'll also be able to make more money because it means you can book more photo shoots in a day than having to wait for one slot at golden hour. So in today's video, I'm gonna give you guys some tips on how to shoot in harsh natural lighting. So how do I do this? How do I take portraits at the worst time, the worst lighting conditions, but still get beautiful, soft looking portraits? To show you, let's go outside. Well, the easiest way to do this is to completely avoid it. Avoid shooting in harsh light. And to do that, all you have to do, it's very simple. When you're walking around trying to find your location or where to shoot with your model, look for an area on the ground where you can actually see a harsh shadow line. So you can see on this side, we have harsh light, and on this side, where's my arm here? We have shadow. And all you have to do is position your subject or your model within that shadow area. So you can see right now, I have all this harsh light hitting me and I have all these terrible looking shadows on my face. All I have to do is step into this shadow area and you can see, there we go. Now I have this beautiful, soft light hitting me and I don't have any harsh shadows anywhere on my face. So if you're shooting with your model, all you have to do is tell them to step within that shadow area and there you go. Now you're dealing with the harsh light situation. So the nice thing about shooting in the shade at this time of day where the light is super harsh is that this light bounces off of everything. It bounces off the concrete, it bounces off of other objects in your environment, and it bounces or reflects all of that light onto your subject. But your subject's not getting any harsh shadows because they are in that shaded area. So you're kind of getting this even lighting, but also this super bright lighting that is gonna perfectly expose your subject. So that is like my go-to when I'm out shooting portraits. That's like my main method or strategy that I use to shoot in harsh light. I just find shade. But there's also other things you can do, and I do this every once in a while, and that's to actually use the shadows in your portraits. Get creative with it. So I like to do this with tree leaves and branches. When you have that light seeping through those leaves, it kind of gives you like this spotty look on your subject, this super high contrast look on your subject's face, which I think looks super, super cool and super creative. So one of the ways you can do this is the same method I used for the first method, where you find a harsh line where there's shadow on the ground and you just tell your subject to step within that shadow. You're gonna do the same thing underneath a tree and kind of look for spotted shadows on the ground and then tell your subject to stand there. You can actually see that with my latest video I posted on Tuesday where I showed you the BTS from one of my photo shoots that I had last week. As a part of being creative with your lighting and with your shadows, you can also use harsh light to shape certain facial features your subject or your model has. Like for example, their cheekbones. With the proper positioning and posing, getting them to look up a little bit towards the light and getting those shadows to fall underneath their cheekbones, you can actually make those facial features pop. Now, if you already found an amazing location, a super beautiful spot, but there's a lot of harsh light and you don't want to move your subject from this nice spot just to find shade, there is still something else you can do. Let me show you. Let me go grab it because I keep it in my car at all times for when I do have a photo shoot. I have it all the time with me. So let me just put you back up here. So this right here is a 5-in-1 reflector. So this is a 5-in-1 reflector, and when you open it up, it looks like this. On this side here, you have this silver reflective side, and actually this is reversible. So on the back side of this silver side, you have another side that looks exactly like this, and it's gold. These are two types of like reflectors that you can use to bounce light to your subject. On the back side here, you have a negative fill, but if you actually take this completely off, you're left with a diffuser. Then you can just bring a stand with you or have someone help you hold it above your subject to block out or diffuse that harsh sunlight. So let me show you how this works. You can see, let me just bring you to this harsh light. So it's super harsh right now. I don't even know if my ND filter will stop down to that. But you can see I have all these harsh shadows on my face. As soon as I hold this above me, and now I have super even soft lighting on my face. So diffusers are really handy, and I recommend every photographer to have one. Keep it with you, bring it to your shoots. It folds up into a very small form factor, and it can save your shoots. And I think you can pick one up on Amazon for like 20 bucks. And lastly, you can deal with harsh lighting by proper posing and proper positioning. Now, obviously this isn't the recommended choice because you're still gonna have a harsh, ugly looking light on your subject, but there is ways to make it work, and that's with the proper posing. So if I go, let me just set up and position myself here and wait until the clouds pass. Okay, you can kind of tell right now I have like these harsh shadows on my face, and it's hard with people with glasses, so it'll be really hard for me to explain this because I'm gonna have shadows regardless of my posing or my positioning. If you're shooting with a model, all you have to do is get them to look up towards the light. This is going to avoid some of the harshest shadows, and in my opinion, some of the worst looking shadows when it comes to shooting in harsh light. You get those terrible looking eyelash shadows, and you can avoid these types of shadows just by getting your subject to tilt their head up towards the light. It'll remove all the shadows on their face. You can also get them to lean forward and look down, and then you can shoot from underneath upwards towards the sky, and that way they'll have no shadows on their face. So yeah, those are some of my tips for how to deal with harsh sunlight. Hopefully it helps some of you. Like I said, this is gonna help you become a more versatile photographer, and you're gonna be able to shoot in any lighting situations. The worst thing you can do is schedule a photo shoot hoping that it's an overcast day, and then it ends up being a super sunny day with harsh light, and then that basically just ruins your entire photo shoot. You have to shoot in it. You don't know how to deal with those harsh shadows properly, and the photos just look like garbage. You'll also be able to book more shoots throughout the day because you're not waiting for golden hour. You can actually shoot in any lighting situation. So if this helped you, make sure you click that like button, hit the subscribe button to see more content like this, and I'll see you in the next one.